Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy.
You are listening to FANTASM Podcast.
Hey, this is Trevor Sternad.
Ryan Ace back from the Black Dahlia murder.
Tom Gabriel Warrior. Derek Green from Simple Tour.
Ross Dolan from Immolation.
This is Anthony Michael.
We are Gorgasm.
This is Motherfucking Creator.
This is Ernie C. of Body Count.
Terrence from Suffocation.
FANTASM Podcast.
Join your host Corey Gorchrist and Dr. Vincent West for exclusive interviews with the sickest bands in metal and more. Head over to cultoffphantasm.com, the only gravesite for all things horror and death metal. No filler, all killer.
Sell the metal! Sell the metal! Sell the metal! Sell the metal!
What the fuck is up, and welcome to the FANTASM Podcast. I am Corey Gorchrist. With me, Dr. Vincent West.
Hey, how you doing?
And we are back in the quarantine saddle for a very special Halloween edition of FANTASM Podcast. And we are streaming courtesy of the free Tubi app on all streaming devices. Pretty sure you can do it on your phone too, so if you guys want to go ahead and follow along with this feature film. Doctor, what do we got here?
Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes.
What began as a vacation ended as a nightmare. The Hills Have Eyes.
That was a bad mistake. Sylvie!
The Hills Have Eyes. The story of an American family who lost everything except the will to survive. The Hills Have Eyes.
1977. A cool thing about this, and this, I think this print on this app might be the Arrow one because it looks decent.
It is.
Which I own, thanks to you, I believe. I think you got this for me. I don't remember.
I think I did.
But yeah, a cool thing about this movie is it was actually Wes Craven's homage to Tobe Hooper's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I didn't know. So he very much loved that film, and there's a lot of similarities to this movie. Wes Craven was a huge fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and wanted to more or less praise Tobe Hooper for that, so I thought that was pretty cool. I'll try to... Yeah, it looks pretty good on here on the Tubi app, I'm assuming. You know, you gotta figure how old this movie is. And this actually, for those of you who have maybe just seen the remake or any of that kind of shit, the remake's actually not bad for what it is, but, it's like, this is the premise of it, basically. For some reason, people listening to us by now have not seen this film. On the way to California, a family has the misfortune to have their car break down in an area closed to the public and inhabited by violent savages ready to attack. Of course, this is the only breakout actor from this whole thing was Dee Wallace, who went on to do Cujo and E.T. She's a very nice woman. And, Michael Berryman still has a pretty okay horror career from this film, so, he's done a lot of shit, Wouldn't say breakout star or anything, but he's up there on the icons of horror because of this movie and all the shit he's done after, so he's stuck around.
And Dee Wallace, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to see, there's something that I read a minute ago. Many of the props in the Farrell family's cave were from Robert A. Burns' previous project, which was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so that is another parallel to that.
Interesting.
The desert locations for the film were extremely rough on the crew. Not only was the rocky terrain difficult to walk, let alone run through, but the temperature would reach up to 120 degrees during the day. After sunset, though, it would drop to a cold 30 degrees in the matter of minutes. So that's fantastic. I think they also had to cram in these Winnebagos to get around, too, because Like, the shoots were like 30 miles away and shit from civilization, so they had to do a lot of traveling just to get to these shots, you know. Now, the inspiration for this movie is actually kind of freaky, because, as Wes Craven put it, it was partially inspired by an episode that happened to him while taking a motorcycle trip with his wife. When they stopped in a small Nevada town, a trio of locals shot an arrow past his head and insulted him. When Craven threatened to sue them, they replied they could easily kill him and leave his corpse in a nearby salt mine and no one would ever know. So then he went and wrote this movie, which is pretty fucking insane. So I guess, you know, that would definitely inspire me to make a crazy movie. And there's D. Wallace there. The rattlesnake used in the film actually escaped while preparing to shoot a scene in a narrow mountain crevice. The entire crew fled at once from the narrow passage, frightened. Minutes later, the snake wrangler went in and recaptured the snake. So that's a fucking heart attack and a half. So let's see. Janice Blythe at first refused to pick up the rattlesnake in the film. Producer Peter Locke tried to convince her to pick it up, but Blythe said she would only do it if Locke would pick it up too. Peter Locke quickly touched the snake and Blythe complied in picking up the snake in the scene. It's very interesting. There's a lot of shit about this movie here. So The Hills Have Eyes was supposed to be a metaphor for class, conflict, racism, and other ills. The Carters can be seen as rich in society being confronted by Jupiter's family, the have-nots. Craven has said that the film expresses rage against American culture, and John Kenneth Murr views the Carters as representing the United States, while Schneider's writes that the Carters are the whatever. Film's cannibals can be understood as representing any number of oppressed, embattled, and downtrodden minority social ethnic groups, including the indigenous peoples of the Americas. While Hills Have Eyes can be interpreted as an allegory about the Vietnam War, this is complicated by the fact that the Carters defeat their enemies, unlike the Americans' forces in Vietnam. Carter symbolizing the wealthy and Papa Jupiter's family representing the poor. He supports this theory by noting that the Carters and the cannibals are both from America. It's interesting. At around 15 minutes, the scene with the tarantula was not scripted. The crew simply found the spider walking around the shooting location and decided to incorporate it into the movie. They released it alive and well afterwards. D. Wallace said little acting was required when her character, Lynn, interacts with the tarantula because her fear of the spider was very much authentic. Producer Peter Locke has a memorable cameo as Mercury, the imbecile-sounding gang member with the feathered headdress, who is only spotted twice throughout the film. Firstly, as Fred's garage, and secondly, communicating with Mars and Pluto using a USAF radio. That's pretty funny. An interview with star Susie Lanier Bromlett. She said that her agent strongly opposed her taking the role in the film, fearing that it could ruin her career opportunities. However, Lanier, who was a fan of the horror genre, liked Wes Craven so much that she went ahead and took the role of Brenda Carter anyway. I mean, who wouldn't? According to star Robert Houston, the audition process for the film depended a lot on whether or not the actor could cry on cue. Auditioning for the role of Ruby required the actresses to have a foot race. When Wes Craven shouted for the actresses to go, Janice Blythe stood behind for a moment, then after a moment took off and beat all the other actresses to the finish line. She was given the role. Michael Berryman's condition, which is, trying to pronounce that correctly, hypohydrotic ectodermal dysplasia, means he has lack of sweat glands, among other things. Despite this, he worked on the movie for 5 months in 100-degree plus heat out in the desert, which makes him a badass, officially. According to Wes Craven, the film was shot on cameras rented from a famous California pornographer. Which kind of adds a little bit of more sleaze to this. It adds a little more sleaze to the film, you know. At around 22 minutes, so let's see where we're at right now, actually. We're only at 9 minutes, so we got a while. We can actually look for this. The dead dog used as a stand-in for the family slaughtered Alsatian Beauty, widely believed to be a dummy dog, was in fact a real, already dead dog that director Wes Craven and producer Peter Locke had bought from a county sheriff's department. That's pretty fucked up. Michael Berryman said he was once watching the film in a theater when a woman in front of him said aloud, "This movie is sick and depraved." Berryman then thought it would be funny to lean over her and say, "Hey, you're damn right, lady, this movie is sick." That's pretty good.
He did do that?
He said if he thought it would be funny if he did, but I guess he didn't.
He should have done it.
He should have done it. Would have freaked her out. Wes Craven's original title for the film was Blood Relations. Producer Peter Locke, however, disliked the title. Numerous titles were then considered, and the film tested best under the title The Hills Have Eyes, though Craven himself initially disliked the title. I think just based on the title alone, it sells the movie, to be honest. Like, if it was Blood Relations, I wouldn't... I'd be like, no, that movie sucks. Let's see, according to Wes Craven, the idea of actually having the baby killed in the film was considered. However, the cast and crew strongly opposed the idea, saying they would leave if the plot went that route. Of course, there was 2 babies in the film that were, traded off here and there. Doing the Ghostbusters 2 tactic there. When originally submitted to the MPAA, the film was given an X rating, which would have relegated it to the porno circuit and severely hurt the box office returns. Wes Craven cut the film enough to secure an R rating, and the original director's cut is thought to be no longer in existence. Which I'm sure is just a lot of crazy shit.
It's pretty crazy.
But this film got a lot of heat back then anyway. But yeah, that's most of the trivia there for that, for whoever gives a shit. But this movie's pretty classic. And one thing that I don't think is... I'd have to do some digging on it, because I've never really found anything on it, but the whole Fred's Garage thing... I'm guessing Wes had the idea for Freddy for a long time. Like, he must have been writing those films while he did this. Because, it's Fred's Garage and he's got the sweater on and everything. So I guess he was like inching in that character without really doing it, So I don't know. Like I said, he must have been writing or mapping out all the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff while he made this movie, because that shit didn't come out till fucking 84, so, got a while. But I guess he was already writing it at this point in time. Because it's like a cameo before a cameo, it's like the early little nod to something that was years away. Like about, 7 years later, you're going to see anything resembles that.
A lot of sight.
Yeah, there you go. Little Buckeyes fan there. I'm trying to see if I can pull up anything on this. The old Fred's Garage. I don't know if there's... I don't know.
Fun story, the kid wearing the Ohio State shirt, when I was in Florida with Corey recently, he actually wore those shorts. He had a tight little pair of boy shorts on, so
I did.
The ladies and men could check out his sexy New York butt.
Yeah.
And see the inline and seam of his full package.
No, it's not a little package.
No, your kosher package.
Thank you.
No, I said your full package.
My full package, yeah.
Is what I said, but I did not say small. Whether it is or not, it will not be small on this podcast.
No, it's a little bit bigger on the podcast.
It's way bigger on the podcast. There you go.
Peter Locke actually...
Corey Holmes, ladies and gentlemen.
Peter Locke actually also produced the remakes as well as this original, so...
Interesting.
Not by the... because the remake... I haven't seen the second one, I don't think, but the first one's good. It is. It's a decent...
They're really gory. I mean,
yeah. They're decent remakes, because they're a little bit different. They're not really tame like I thought they would be. They're pretty raunchy. They're really intense. They're
very gory. Very gory.
They kind of matched the intensity of this film. This film has a slow build to it, obviously, but the newer ones kind of do. It just seems like it's not as slow of a build as the rest of it, but they're good. They're good remake. They're worth checking out. At least the first one. I haven't seen the second one, but they are also on this app, I believe. At least one of those remakes are on here. I think it's 2. They're worth checking out, though. They are. And Dee Wallace is super hot in this movie, which is crazy.
Well, see, I'm weird because I actually like the Wes Craven sequel to this film. I actually like it a lot. And that's actually the first thing, even though he's unaccredited, that Kane Hodder ever did with Hills Have Eyes Part 2.
Yeah. Which is also... Arrow also put that out. The second one.
Yes. I have that.
It's a good one to have. And so there's the scene with the spider here we were mentioning, and Dee Wallace is actually freaked out by that. That was real. Because that was not a scripted thing. There's just a spider actually in the fucking trailer, which is pretty scary. Yeah, she's hot in this movie. I never really noticed that before. I never really thought she was that attractive, throughout her filming career, but she looks good in this movie. And she looks good now. She does. She's aged very well. Very nice. If any of this COVID shit ever goes away, she does conventions quite a lot, so she's high recommendation to meet Dee Wallace if you get a chance to ever, because she's an amazing person. She gave me a fucking hug and all this weird. She was like, I just want to give you a hug, and I was like, okay. She's super fucking personable and nice, and sweet lady, worth all the, and cheap signer too, if you all are into doing that stuff. She's very inexpensive, and she's in a lot of good movies, so that's my 2 cents on that stuff. Hopefully shit clears up and go back to normal, and honestly I don't give a shit about going to shows or not, but conventions I would like to do that again. At least Horror Hound would be fun. Going to conventions again would just be fun. I'd rather do that than shows. Go to like Horror Hound again, Well,
I mean, look, here's the thing. I'm still going to do the shows for the content.
Right.
But what a lot of people may not out there know, and I'm not going to get into a big thing about this, but depending on who the band is, if I'm friends with them, I usually stay and watch the show and hang out. If I'm not, I usually leave and don't watch it.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Because the content is why I'm there. I'm not there. I'm there to help them promote their record. I'm not there to stroke their ego,
I got an ad right now.
Okay.
It's a Febreze ad. They want you to soft surfaces trap odor.
1740.
Okay. Well, I have like 10 ads coming, so. Phantasm wants you to shoot your Febreze load all over your house. All over your dog's bed so he gets infections with the fucking chemicals. The dude was literally just spraying living shit out of his dog's bed. Like, why don't you wash your dog? No,
you're going to call them Febreze busters.
Now there's people playing violins and running around their backyard, so this must be a fucking... Oh, it's a window A what? Okay. Now it's a car commercial, because, we can all afford brand new vehicles here at Phantasm. I mean, the doctor can't. He's got about 5 of them. But it's the new Dodge Hummer. That's exactly what this is. I don't know why anybody would buy a fucking GMC, fake Hummer, because that's not a Hummer. They just took the name, I guess. Now here's Vicks Vapor Rub. It's got marshmallow root and ivy leaf in it, so my sensitive little nose can naturally open up again. Oh, this stuff sucks. But that's why it's free, folks. We both have this movie, but I'm sure he's like mine. I haven't opened mine.
No, mine is not opened.
Yeah, that's why we have to resort to this. We can't just pop in a Blu-ray. Plus, it's on an app. And here's Domino's for Mr. Platt. His delivery straight to him. And don't worry, it's hot and fresh, and I got my mask on.
Wheelchair fucker does like some pizza.
I don't know, is it Domino's? Is he big on that, or does he like doing his little personal gas station pizzas more? Alright, I'm back on the thing, by the way.
He likes a lot of it, man.
I'm on 1738 now. So ads are done. I'm done with the ads.
We're good. We're rolling.
We got a German Shepherd barking. We got Susie here freaking out. Love the bell bottoms and the style. This movie is very encapsulated in the late 70s. I definitely think of this movie when I think of that era of time. It's a good little time capsule film, honestly, for that. It just feels like it's 77.
I want to do something different today with Altering the Future.
Okay.
I'm not doing music at all.
It'd be weird to do
instead. Well, no, listen, I'm not going to do it at all. It's pointless. But here's what I am going to do. You do those movies like you always do, and I'm going to do TV shows from the time.
Sounds good. Are you ready to get into it?
I think we should.
Alright. Well, cue up the Chuck. We'll do Altering the Future.
Altering the Future!
We'll take you back to the year that our feature film was released, which in this case would be 1977. So I always cover the other movies that were out the same year, and the Doctor normally does the music, but he's going to do TV shows this time around, so it'll be fun. We've never done 77, which is surprising, honestly. So let's see what we got here.
Well, the music, it's a little disco-y, and besides Kiss and Black Sabbath, I mean, and Van Halen wasn't quite there yet, so, there's no really point in talking about music, I don't think.
Right. I think we actually have done 1977 maybe once, but I'm going to go ahead. Usually I do horror movies for, last. I'm just going to go ahead and just do whatever. Just whatever I see, I'm going to list it off. Good notable stuff that most of you would probably know out there. The Hobbit, which was the cartoon back in the day. They're really good. If no one's ever seen them, you need to watch it. Disney's The Rescuers. Pete's Dragon. Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
It's a good one, man.
The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I know a lot of children's shit, but there was a lot of good stuff back then.
No, man, it's all good. Dude, read it.
See... You got that Pumping Iron documentary that had Lou Ferrigno and Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. It was like the Mr. Universe or whatever.
It's actually really good.
It is good. You got High Anxiety. That's Mel Brooks. Cloris Leachman. It's good shit. Got The White Buffalo, Charles Bronson. Saturday Night Fever. That's probably arguably one of the biggest ones of that year.
Never liked that movie.
Not a fan. Rolling Thunder.
I like the soundtrack. I like the Bee Gees soundtrack, but I can't do the film.
Yeah. I had that shit beaten into me when I was little. I still don't like it.
Here's the thing. Just a brief thing on that. I don't like John Travolta.
Yeah. I've never really been sold on him.
I like him in Pulp Fiction as Vincent.
I do too. And I like him in Face Off, and I think that's the only two movies I'm like, yeah. And the rest of it, I'm...
You know, I've never seen Face Off.
It's awesome. It actually is awesome.
I've never seen it.
It's one of Nicolas Cage's best movies. And he doesn't have a lot of them. Yeah, Rolling Thunder, Tommy Lee Jones. That's a Vietnam movie. Let's see what else. Try not to miss anything good here. Some weird ones on here. Got the 1977 Man in the Iron Mask. There's been a shit ton of those. Richard Chamberlain. The Incredible
That's actually a really good movie.
It is. The Incredible Melting Man.
With makeup by Rick Baker, which is outstanding.
Yep. It's good shit. And we got Kentucky Fried Movie.
I have it on Blu-ray. It's awesome.
Got the original Fun with Dick and Jane, which is George Segal and Jane Fonda.
It's a good movie.
It is. It's funny. Let's see what else. What we got? Slapshot, which is fucking awesome. It's hilarious.
You know, I like the sequels, the straight-to-video sequels better.
Yeah, I like the second one a lot.
I do the original film.
I like the second one a lot.
Oh, it's good, man.
It is good.
He's like, I'm working on it. I love it. Okay, I got a break right now.
Alright, pausing it. We're going to continue with this. While the doctor is on a commercial break, I'm on 23 minutes 11 seconds. We have The Car, which is James Brolin. Isn't that a Steven Spielberg? No, that's Duel I'm thinking of.
Duel is.
Yeah. The Car, okay. Yeah. Okay.
The Car is a really good film, though.
It is good. Shockwaves, which is like...
Shockwaves is a movie that I own. Peter Cushing.
Yep.
Very good. I got a car shield ad.
We got Orca.
Folks, call 1-800-785-5153. Engine, transmission, computer system, deductible may apply. Carshield.com.
It's wonderful. Alright, so we got Orca. We got Exorcist 2, The Heretic.
Orca actually just came out on Blu-ray recently.
Yeah. And here's the one that we've done that I found, because this is the only time we've done this year, is Rabid. We did that, the Cronenberg.
That's a good movie.
It is good. Then we got Eraserhead.
I'm back in 1, 2, 3, 4 now.
Boom. Dude just fell off the fucking cliff thing here, and it's getting into nighttime here. We got House, not to be confused with the horror movie by Steve Miner, but the Japanese horror movie. I actually watched it recently because I hadn't seen it in forever. It's on HBO Max, and it's such a weird effect. Like, special effects are so insanely weird in that movie, and it's just batshit. I like that movie, actually. I think it's just ridiculously dumb that it's fun to watch. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's a classic. Got Spy Who Loved Me. It's my boy Roger Moore.
It's a really good movie.
It is really good. Then we got Suspiria, which is probably my favorite movie from this year. Smokey and the Bandit, which is definitely the doctor's favorite from this year.
Hey, easily.
We got, let's see. Got The Sentinel. That came out. And then,
That's
of course,
a really good movie. I've got that on Blu-ray.
It is good. And of course, the biggest movie to come out this year of 1977 is the obvious one that everyone already knows, and it's a little film called Star Wars.
Yep.
But I'd still rather watch Suspiria. Even though New Hope is great, it's still good. It's still awesome. And it's one of the only ones with those special editions that wasn't like butchered and horribly fucked with. It's still pretty just by itself. It's good. I like Suspiria a lot. That'd probably be my favorite film of that year. Because Suspiria is one of the few movies that are actually, I think, scary. You know, that's got a lot of fucking freaky shit in it, you know. I don't know if you've already gone over this, but I have said, like, I think we've already talked about it. Like, movies that are actually fucking scary, that freak me out. Like, The Exorcist is number one for sure. And Suspiria, Pet Sematary, the original, and Hellraiser. You know, those movies are terrifying in their own way. They're all different, but they're all... And The Shining, too. The Shining has some moments that stuck with me, that scared me as a kid, that still do, you know, that don't go away, you know. Movies that are genuinely scary, no matter when you put them on or how old you are, they still freak you out. And those movies all have those moments in it that actually still to this day freak me out, you know. Which is good, you know. We're all horror fans here.
Are you ready? Got TV shows ready to go.
And what we do and all that stuff, so... Yeah, Suspiria, Freaky Deaky. A lot of people have told me to watch the remake. I'm not watching that movie. I'm sorry. I'm not interested in it. Everyone keeps telling me, you really need to watch it. It's actually really good. I'm like, no, I don't really need to watch it because Suspiria, the original, is one of my favorite movies. I would never just watch a 2019 remake of it. Like, that's this, like, Amazon Prime art film. Like, I just don't care, you know. It's not going to be Argento. I don't care. I don't want to watch it. I'm just good. I'm good with it. So, yeah, Doctor, TV shows, 1977, Altering the Future.
And here's the thing. I'm only listing off stuff that I watched. So
there you go. Do it.
So the first one we've got here is Captain Caveman, Saturday morning cartoon.
Of course, Hanna-Barbera shit right there.
Baba Black Sheep. The New Adventures of Batman, which was narrated by Adam West.
Fuck yeah.
He was Batman on it, which was awesome. I Dream of Jeannie.
Love
Starsky
it.
and Hutch. The NFL, the National Football League. How the West Was Won. Let's see here. Scooby-Doo.
Of course.
A little show called McCloud. What's Happening, which was one of my favorite shows. Wonder Woman, which I have on Blu-ray. With
awesome.
Linda Carter, excuse me. Kojak. The $6 Million Man, which I was obsessed with. Mary Tyler Moore Show, which my mom loved. Good Times. Hawaii Five-0, which my mom loved. Logan's Run, the TV show, which only lasted a season, but it was fantastic.
Nice.
Carol Burnett Show, which my mom loved.
It's awesome.
Bob Newhart Show, The Bionic Woman. Alice, which was a show about this diner. It was really good. The Jeffersons. Let's see here. Barney Miller, which my mom loved. One Day at a Time, which featured Valerie Bertinelli, which was Eddie Van Halen's wife.
Nice.
Columbo. Charlie's Angels. Welcome Back, Kotter, which was another thing that John Travolta did that I actually did like. Welcome back. Anyway.
Wasn't he Vinny in that? His name was Vinny in that, too?
I think so. The Waltons, which is something my mom loved. Chips, which is something I love, which was the California Motorcycle Police with Eric Estrada.
It's awesome.
And a little actor named Chris Pond's father was on that show. He was the lieutenant.
He was.
The Incredible Hulk, which apparently I used to throw a fit if I missed because there was no DVRs or VCRs back then.
Yeah.
Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew Mysteries, which my mom loved. Like I said, if I don't like it, I ain't mentioning it. Three's Company, loved it. John Ritter, comedic genius.
Of course. absolutely.
And the last two are near and dear to my heart to this day. The Love Boat, which I love. And my favorite show, period, of all time back then, that I watched religiously, and yes, Leela, I will get you some food, is Happy Days.
Loved it. Such a good show.
As did I.
Good shit.
Let's get the kitty some food. You're such a blob. You want to make some noise on here?
It's weird because, I know younger people just probably won't get a chance to watch shit like that. They really have to dig for it because, when I was younger, I had Nickelodeon had the wonderful thing of putting, the little TV Land shit on the channel. It was
Nick at Night.
Yeah, the Nick at Night shit, and it was basically what TV Land, because TV Land I don't think was out yet when I was watching it when I was little. So TV Land I think was an offshoot of what Nick at Night was doing.
Correct.
So Happy Days would come on, because I'd stay up all night when all the shit went off the air. And they wouldn't play infomercials on Nickelodeon, so they just played Nick at Night, and they showed Happy Days, and they showed I Love Lucy, and they showed I Dream of Jeannie, and all that stuff. So I would watch everything that came on there. So I kind of grew up watching all that old shit too. I guess that's why I like and appreciate older stuff, because I stayed up when all that
stuff.
Here's
the thing: you have to realize I was a very, 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 very small child in 1977.
Yeah.
But I watched that stuff, and that's what I was watching back then. These are TV shows that were in syndication. They were already canceled.
Yeah.
But I was watching Star Trek.
Yeah.
What a shock. And I was obsessed with it. And I was watching in syndication. I was also watching the Batman show from 20th Century Fox with Adam West.
Yeah.
Which I'm obsessed with. That's honestly the coolest Blu-ray thing that I own is that. Those are beautiful. Those are never shown on anything, and I have all of them. And now all of that whole thing it's not streaming or anywhere because Warner got that from Fox, and now Disney owns Fox, and Disney's trying to take that from Warner Bros. But Warner Bros. is like, we own Batman, fuck you. So there's a whole legal battle over that. But I have it all. And it's glorious because Vincent Price was in it, and Cesar Romero, which is my favorite Joker. And,
he's so good.
I grew up with all that. Frank Gorshin is the Riddler, and he's an underrated actor who was also on Star Trek. But it's one of those things. Hell, Frank Gorshin was in episode fucking 18. But what I was going to say is all that stuff was in syndication, and I grew up with all that stuff. I literally grew up. My uncle would be sitting there drinking Lowenbrow with my dad, and I remember playing with my toys, and I'm watching, TV when I was really little. I couldn't even walk,
Yeah.
But I grew up with all that stuff, so I love all that stuff. That's still what I want to watch.
Yeah.
Most of the time. It's not that I'm trapped in a certain time frame. It's nostalgic for me, just like watching SpongeBob SquarePants is nostalgic for somebody, or watching Power Rangers is nostalgic for somebody. I'm not knocking them for that. It's not something that I watch, but I'm not knocking people for liking it. It just depends on how old you are, but what you grew up with. Everybody grew up with different stuff,
Yeah.
You love the movie Home Alone. I wouldn't watch that if you paid me, but,
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with that. You have heartstrings tied to it, and I'll never knock anybody for having heartstrings tied to anything, even if it's something I don't want to
I got an ad.
Okay.
Look, it's thezebra.com. He wants you to pick up this garbage can full of money, because that's what thezebra.com wants you to do. It's like, yeah, I'd like you to roll that to my house, thank you. Sorry, my apartment. But yeah, people appreciate different things, and it's from the years that they get into stuff. I'll always love Happy Days. It's one of my favorite shows of all time, because it wasn't around when the actual time was out, but I watched it when I was little, because it was on all the time, and I would sit there, and it intrigued me, and I always watched it. I laughed my fucking balls off. I loved Ron Howard in it, because Richard Cunningham was my favorite, and of course Fonzie. Those were my two. But the it was just a fun show, and I don't know if I would like it if I just watched it out of nowhere now. I think I would, because that show's just a great show. There's nothing, it's just some things are just fucking good, you know. But I haven't seen it in a long time. But it's one of those shows I think about every now and then because I grew up with it. It was one of, like, that's a huge part of my childhood, was watching that kind of shit. But it was mostly Happy Days, because they would just, sometimes on Nick at Night, or even when I started watching TV Land, they would show that show, like, all day long.
The WGN, if you had that growing up, they showed it on there a lot, too.
They used to just show nothing but Happy Days. Like, I'd watch it until my mom was like, you need to go to bed, or time for dinner. You know, I'd just be like...
There's a lot of shows.
I would just
I'll tell you a show
until
that I love, that I watched in syndication, and it was never when it originally aired, but I'll tell you something that I was obsessed with, that I watched completely and totally in syndication, and that was fucking Beverly Hills 90210. I loved that show.
Absolutely.
But what was cool was I was seeing older seasons of it in syndication, and then I started watching it
what time are you on
into it, so I started it in like the night. Is it done?
Yeah, what time are you at?
33:32.
Alright, hang on a second. I'll need to catch up here. Shit. Alright, I'm lined right up.
A lot of the
okay, unpaused.
I started watching 90210 and got really into it. Something with Dawson's Creek. I caught Dawson's Creek from the beginning because I worked at this job that had a the reason I was on that station was to watch Buffy and to watch Angel, because I watched all that when it aired. But
yeah, I did too. That's the stuff I grew up with, like that.
But hold on, but here was the weird thing, that Dawson's Creek was kind of like crammed in there, kind of like Gilmore Girls, which I didn't care for, but that I watched Smallville on that station too, so there was a lot of stuff that I watched. So sometimes I would just leave it on because I was at work, and I would end up watching. And that's the truth about Dawson's Creek. Like, the reason I watched almost every episode of that as it aired is because it was on when I was at work, so I watched it, you know.
Yeah, I think those came on like...
Because when I didn't have a customer, I could watch TV, you know, so I would sit there and watch TV while I would wait for the next customer to come in.
So that shit would always be on when I was home, like from school and stuff, so we would watch... It was weird, because I remember...
Now, here's your show, the worst thing on the WB, in my opinion, was Seventh Heaven. I was
about to say that, because here's what we used to do. So, we would eat dinner while Seventh Heaven was on. And it would just play in the background. Like, nobody in the family would watch it. Like me, my brother, and my mom, it would just play in the background. And then as soon as we were done with dinner, Dawson's Creek would come on. And my brother or anybody else wouldn't watch that shit. I'd go right back to the TV when I was done with anything I was doing, you know. I wasn't a huge video game kid, believe it or not, or any of that. I sat in front of the TV all day.
I was.
I played video games, but I had like a Game Boy and stuff, and I had every console on the planet, but... I was mostly watching TV, and I would sit in front of that fucking thing all goddamn day. So,
no, I mean, I did love that too. But
as soon as we were done with dinner, I would go watch Dawson's Creek. And, you know, in the morning when I woke up, you know, before school, they would do the reruns of the shit from the day before. I'd watch Seinfeld and watch stuff like that. And I was never big into Friends or anything. I was always a Dawson's Creek person. And like Seinfeld, I never really was a fan.
What was the other one that I watched? I'm trying to think of WB stuff that I watched the Jamie Foxx show. I loved that.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm trying to think of stuff specifically that was on the WB. Steve Harvey's show I never watched. I kind of think he's funny, but I never watched that show because it came on at a time frame where I was watching something else, I think, so I just never watched it.
You're saying Buffy. Yeah, Buffy was good. Trying to think what else. Charmed I liked a lot. I used to watch that.
I watched it here and there. I don't think I ever watched it.
I mean, just watched it when it came on, but I wasn't like, you know. There's something else I'm missing. Roswell I liked. It's a good one.
Roswell was good. Smallville I loved.
So yeah, it's Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
Loved it.
It's good.
I know it's cheesy and people are going to make me cry. I loved it. And that was my problem with that new one. Like that new one or whatever. Everybody's like, oh, it's like this serious show. I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to watch that bullshit.
It's okay for what it is. It's not that bad, but it's
well,
that other
one serious and it's not a fucking comedy with a fucking.
Well, it is.
I don't want to watch it.
It's got a serious tone to it, but it's definitely got a lot of comedy in it. It's just like darker, I guess, but it's nothing like the Sabrina one, like the original one, the Melissa Joan Hart one, which was fucking awesome. I grew up with that shit, and that used to be on Nickelodeon, like the show she had, and then they made it on that one, WB. So I followed it right to there and kept watching it. I loved all that stuff. The Wayans brothers had a show. That show was pretty good. And
that's another one that I never watched. I have nothing against them or anything, but I never watched that show.
Yeah. Watched it here and there when it came out.
I don't know, I just never watched it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good 90s sitcoms I grew up with that I still like. But, I still love all the old shit that was already on when I started watching a lot of TV. Like I said, Happy Days, I Dream of Jeannie, and I Love Lucy and all that old stuff. Like, I love all that shit, It was just still, on. It wasn't new episode, obviously, whatever, but I was watching it. It was good stuff.
I'm not going to do this, but there's tons of stuff that I grew up with that I did not like.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, yeah, mine too. There's plenty of... Like I said, I never had a problem with Friends, and I would watch it here and there. But everybody's, has, an obsession with that movie, or that TV show. I was never, really into it, a lot of people...
Can I tell you a show that people were obsessed with?
And a lot of people...
Well, listen, this is a show that I've actually tried to watch, okay?
Okay.
And I can't get into it. I mean, I've tried to watch it, and I'll go into, because there was two different cast members, a huge cast change in the show, but this is a newer show for me to be talking about, but that 2.5 Men thing, that show is awful.
Never been a fan.
Here's the thing, I love Charlie Sheen, and the ones I did watch that I thought were okay was in, but when they brought in that Putz from fucking That 70s Show to try to replace him, I'm like, this does not work. It just doesn't work, and like I said, if you're going to put a gun to my head and make me watch it, I would at least rather watch the ones with Charlie Sheen,
The OG one, yeah.
And here's another one, Big Bang Theory. I hate that show. I just despise it. I really do.
Can't do it.
I don't like that Two Broke Girls thing. I don't like any of these modern comedy shows. I've tried to watch them, and I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm not really big into newer
stuff.
stuff.
It's how are people watching that and not watching Vice Principals with Danny McBride? Or, it's like, I don't know, I'm just kind of eclectic. Like I said, I've just recently discovered The League, which I'm obsessed with.
That's good. But I don't know, with the whole Friends thing.
I love Parks and Rec. I love a lot of, there are shows out there that I like that are newer, but, The Office was something I could never get into. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with people liking it, but I've tried to watch that, and I just don't think it's funny.
That's another background noise show for me. I'll put it on in the background, do something else, not even pay attention to it, I can't sit there and just
Like I said, I'm not knocking people for liking it. It's just, whatever works for you. But I wanted to ask you something.
Okay.
Did you ever see the Garfield Halloween special when you were a kid?
Yes, I did. I had it on VHS. I loved Garfield. I was obsessed with him for a while.
Oh, and let's talk about this, because this absolutely infuriates me. I'm not going to get on a rant about this, but I think this is chicken shit. So this year is the first year in ever that I'm aware of that ABC is not going to be, because of fucking Apple.
It pisses me off, yeah, because that's something you always...
And I just want to say this, and I've never done this on this podcast the whole time we've been on this. I'm not saying that they don't make good products or whatever, but I'm going to tell you something. They're the worst company in the world. Them and Microsoft are both just horrible, horrible companies. I mean, that damn thing has aired, because I'd set my DVR up to try to record it, and I'm like, where the fuck is it at? And I start, like, playing around online, and it's like, oh, you gotta have Apple TV to watch that. It's like, what do you mean I have to have fucking Apple TV?
Yeah, The Great Pumpkin is like it's like the staple. It's like, that's like, them not showing A Christmas Story on TV, like, for Christmas. It's like, you know...
They probably won't. The goddamn Apple probably fucking...
That's what I'm saying.
And here's the thing.
There's like a staple stuff.
Before I get fucking Apple TV. I don't have fucking Netflix, kids. Anybody out there listening? I've never had it. You know why? Because I don't want it. So when you walk up to me and tell me to watch The Mandalorian, which I know is on Disney Plus, but you want me to watch all this stuff? Guess what? I'm not watching it. There's not enough money on the earth to pay me to get me to watch something that I don't want to watch. I just refuse to do it. I'm not watching Rick and Morty. I'm not watching fucking any of this crap. If you want to watch it, that's fine, but, you know, but Apple doing that, it's like, okay, so now you've just desecrated my fucking childhood because you're a bunch of cocksuckers and you're stealing it. My fucking phone's hanging up.
How's your phone hanging up? Is it dying?
It's hanging.
We just lost the doctor, folks. We have lost communications right when this couple's about to get frisky ding dong. He's got his fucking mustache ride ready and his sideburns. But if I'm not mistaken, this is a scene where, spoiler alert, if you've never seen this, they take the baby, because the baby, there's some foreshadowing here where the baby's like, or he's kind of looking a little sus, so, as the kids would say. Now they're siphoning the gas, which is a lot of fun. There's Michael Berryman. We're trying to get into this movie a little bit here. We saw some almost like a crucifixion action a minute ago with the older gentleman. Apologize for not knowing his name. Yeah, but D. Wallace is getting the D. Let me try to call the doctor back here and see if he's... his phone was dying.
You have reached the voicemail.
Nope. We have lost communications with Dr. West. This is going to be interesting. His phone was almost dead before we started recording, but we're both on a separate time crunch here. You know, since I dropped him back off the other day, we actually met up for the first time in a long time because he hasn't been able to come up here to Tennessee. He's been in Florida. But I picked him up in Alabama on my way to Pensacola because I figured, dude, let's fucking hang out and go to the beach. Like, he told me that it was pretty chill over there. He was already, you know, up in Alabama, so it was easy for me to get him. Went down to Pensacola. We actually recorded a very special trilogy for you guys that we're going to combine into one episode where we were on the beach recording and traveling around, and it was a lot of fun. Obviously, it's a 3-parter, but we're going to do it all in one thing. And we recorded some really fun ads for you guys to put in between and kind of separate the trilogy up for you. So when you're listening to one giant thing, it's not that long. It's not like a full episode length, I don't think. We were going, you know, it's a lot of fun. You'll hear. It's called Lucifer's Cola. Don't ask me how we came up with the name. I think we explain it, but it's a lot of fun. And there is the doctor. Dr. West, thought we lost you.
I'm at 43:31 is where I have it paused.
Okay. I'm at 45:36, so let me know when you get there. I'll leave it paused.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun to record that, and that'll be coming to a streaming service, you know, listening
service. What did you say you're at?
45:36. We saw Michael Berryman while you were gone. He was siphoning gas, and D. Wallace was getting the D from a old mustache ride, old Midnight Rider in there. Don't know his name. I forgot. But yeah, I was telling our listeners about the Lucifer's Cola, and that it'll be coming to them very soon. That we had a lot of fun recording it.
Okay, hit play.
Okay. And we are back on track. So yeah, you know, we've been on a... it was good to catch up and actually see the doctor. It's been a really long time. We've been doing this quarantine thing for 7 or 8 months now with everyone else on this planet, so it was cool to take a little trip and go see the doctor because he hasn't been able to get up here to where I'm at, so it was cool to finally connect for a little bit and know that we're both still human beings and alive and physical beings. It was a lot of fun. And you'll hear that on the Lucifer's Cola when it debuts, and you can listen to our adventure. It was a good time. But yeah, there was a couple fun things that happened while I was rambling. I think now we got all Ohio State here.
I'm glad you kept going. I was a little worried because I was like,
I didn't cut it off.
Here's the thing. My back was killing me. I've got this phone plugged into the wall here. I'm having to sit on the floor to do this podcast because the phone wasn't charged. Normally my phone's charging me.
That's what I was telling the viewers. Yeah, I was like, your phone was like pretty much dead before we started recording, but you're like, fuck it.
It's dead right now, but I've got it plugged into the wall.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I mean, we're both on like a separate time crunch right now because we both got shit we got to do after this. And this is the only time it could really work out. So I was like, hopefully Doctor comes back on. I'm just going to have to carry it, you know, the whole way because we got shit to do here in a little bit, you know. And, you know, the Doctor's a few hours behind me, so, or an hour behind me. So, but it's, you know, like I said, we had a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll have another trilogy lined up in a couple months. So I might just take my happy ass to... Only this time he's back in a further part away of Florida, but I don't think we'll do the Alabama thing this time. He might meet me out there again if he can find the logistics to get out to Alabama for me to come get him again. We'll work on that. Got a couple months to...
Yeah, that's the plan, so...
Couple months to figure that out, and we go right back down to where we were for the first trilogy of Lucifer's Cola. This, of course, will be a new trilogy that we'll think of on the way there. And now we got Michael Berryman in here with his little shiv, and he's looting the RV here. He's ransacking while Dee Wallace is pulling up her semen-encrusted panties now, which I think is really hot, actually. She just got fucking Greg Allman over there to fucking toaster her strudel.
The Doctor will be right back. I have to use the restroom.
Alright. Doctor's on bathroom break, and we'll continue. That guy's fucking mustache looks like a fucking dead caterpillar. It's just insanity. I'm gonna find his name, because I apologize. Usually I have this stuff set up, and I know who all these characters' names are, and kind of just falling behind on this. I believe that's Robert Houston, and the character is Bobby Carter. I'm just going to guess, because that's the first one that comes up on here. Nope. Robert Houston is the Ohio State kid. So, this dude must be Martin Spear. Let's see if that is the dude. Yes, Martin Spear is Greg Allman right here. And I'll actually pull up something on him. I apologize, Martin Spear. He is still alive. Got his fame. He was on the Wonder Woman show in 1975. The Doctor mentioned on Altering the Future. He was also on the $6 Million Man, which was also on the Doctor's TV show list of 1977. He was David Levi. He was Billy DeRoe on the Wonder Woman show. So he's done a lot of TV. He is Doug Wood on this movie. He was also on The Greatest American Hero. William Catt. He was Stan Hahn. That was 1982. So yeah, and he's reappeared on the Wonder Woman show, I think, a few times. I don't think it was just one-off thing. But, I mean, that fucking stash is just... It's killing me, but it's also kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. Super retro, dude's got it going, man. And there is Michael Berryman holding Susie hostage here. But he's also an art director, Martin Spear, the Greg Allman here. Very interesting. Yeah, we got Brenda Carter, which is Susan Lanier. Or Lanier? I'm going to say Lanier, it sounds more official. I think that is Jupiter. That's going crazy. Burning this old motherfucker. He has him pretty much like on this, basically crucifying this fucking dude. He's got him fucking wielded down. They're trying to free him. Here's Jupiter, which is James Whitworth, and rest in peace to him. He died in 91, which is very sad. Very iconic character. He sold this role. I mean, I really don't think he's done a whole lot of other stuff, but I mean, people knew him from this. And Brooklyn, New York native. Haven't done a whole lot of notable things other than this film. This is kind of his big thing, from what I can see here. He was on Fantasy Island as Abdu, which is pretty cool. It's another good show. That was 1980. Yeah, that's basically the big notable thing that he was on, that I can tell. But yeah, James was solid in this movie, as is Michael Berryman. He's just rad. He's
Sorry about that.
Very nice guy too. Oh, you're good.
Have you met Berryman?
I have once, yes. Very nice guy. I was actually supposed to interview him before we split with those turds, and I actually just bailed on it and pissed them off because they didn't have anyone to do it, and it kind of put them in limbo. I felt pretty proud of that, but also sorry to Michael Berryman for being unprofessional, but it wasn't anything against him. I had to do what I had to do. Now, every time you turn on the TV and you're like, oh, that movie's on, it's always on the same fucking scene. It's like every time I would try to turn this movie on, it would always be on this part. I guess that's why I always remember it the most, because it was always this scene when I found out this movie was on TV or whatever. It doesn't even matter what it is. There's just movies that have that weird timing. Like, I can go over to Dr. West's house in Florida, and he'll be watching this movie, and when I walk in to be like, hey, what's up, man, it'll be this scene of the movie. I'll just be like, what the fuck? Okay.
It's always on that scene.
Yeah, no matter what. And there's certain movies that are like that for me. Like, not many, and it's not like I time them that way. It's just, it's always going to be on that scene when I see it. I don't know if listeners out there, if you have that happen with certain films, but I think it's really strange, that there's, like, I can't list the other ones because I'd have to just see the scene and be like, oh yeah, that happens on that too. But this movie, definitely, that scene that we just saw where they're like, the baby's fat, that scene is always on when I turn this movie on TV. It's like they fast forward, they're like, there's her scene, here you go, it's halfway over now. Like, thanks. But it's a good part to jump in on, because it's when it gets really intense, this stuff, but still, it's like, it's just weird. I don't know if that happens to everyone. Does it happen to you? Have you had that happen with films? No.
Not horror stuff.
Well, just anything. It's not just horror movies for me, but this is like one of the horror movies that happens. But I was curious if you've had that happen with anything, or even a TV show. Like, if you're watching the same episode of something you like, and you put it on TV, and it's always on the same part of that episode, like, that happens too, Just
definitely.
Just weird stuff like that. Like, no matter what you do,
I'm trying to think of what it would be, though.
Yeah. It's hard to think of it, because like I said, the only reason it reminded me of that is because, like, I saw the scene, and I was like, okay, it's always on this part. Like, I remember how I watch it, and I couldn't just think of a random scene off the top of my head from, like, some other movie. There goes fucking Nina, she gets fucking shot in the damn tit. This scene's really fucking intense. I mean, no, and there she goes, and Dee Wallace gets shot by fucking Jupiter, and it's fucking...
I've got one I can share with everybody.
Okay. Oof.
So,
Jesus Christ.
Years ago, and this happened probably 3 times. I was at my friend Matt's house in Fort Lauderdale, and we had been watching something on DVD, okay? And like literally we the movie goes off, we turn it off, take the disc out, right?
Yeah.
And he's flipping through his channels, and this happened to me seriously like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always happened with this film. It'll be the credits of Friday the 13th Part 6 with the Alice Cooper song playing.
And it's always that when you turn it to it.
Every time, it's like, you're with you, babe, fun. It's like literally every fucking time. And it always annoyed me because back then you really didn't see those movies airing a lot. So when they aired uncut, it was like, man, I would much rather watch this than whatever shitty comedy we just watched, you know?
Yeah.
That you've seen 500 times, like fucking Fletch or something, you know? Nothing against that. Fletch is like one of my favorite movies ever made, but it's, you know what I mean? It's just irritating.
Yeah.
But that used to happen a lot. And I'll tell you another one. A non-comedy. And it goes along with the same year of this. Every time Star Wars A New Hope is on, it's always them and the fucking Death Star at the end of the damn movie.
Yeah. Stuff like that, you know? And it's no matter what, you can watch it.
And I don't know why that is. It's always them like getting boarded, going and trying to find Princess Leia. They end up in the garbage compactor. Like it's always or Luke with Leia swinging across that bridge, shooting at the stormtrooper. And it's been that way since I was a little kid. Like that movie, I never catch it at the beginning if it's on TV. It's always at the fucking end.
Like with films like that, it's just a weird timing thing, and I don't know how it is for you.
Hold on, I've got another one.
I could
I'm
watch
trying
it.
to push myself and do this for you. I've got another one.
Okay.
I'm not trying to interrupt you. I've got another one, and this is another one. Jaws, and it's always Richard Dreyfuss and him on the boat at the end with the barrels, like the end of the goddamn movie.
That's like you.
I mean, every time I turn it on, it's always the end of the first Jaws movie. It's always the end where they're having a confrontation with Jaws. Like, it's the weirdest thing.
I know a lot of people are thinking it's like, well, when movies start at like 7:30, you got to watch it then. If you watch it at 8:45, it's gonna be over. It's like, no. You can start it at 8:45 and somehow it's still gonna be on that fucking scene. That's what I mean with these things.
That's right.
And like you can watch it today and then try to watch it tomorrow, and it's still you can watch it today and tomorrow. You'll be on the same scenes both times.
I've got a break in 5, 4.
I got one right now, actually.
2, 1.
Mine's a little bit behind yours, but I just got one now. It's Zebra.com, buddy. But I think Star Wars is one. That's a funny one, actually. I think on A New Hope, it's on the cantina scene, but it's after they've already kind of talked to Han Solo. It's like already at that point where he's like, looks like you got yourselves a ship. And then it goes, like if they always show those fucking special edition turds, so after that scene it goes right to that Jabba the Hutt thing that was cut out of the original. So it's like the CGI'd fucking Jabba part, you know. And Han Solo calls him a wonderful human being, which is stupid, you know, because obviously he's not. But maybe it's supposed to be sarcastic. That's kind of how they sold that part. But when they added it, but it's just dumb. Yeah, I think for A New Hope, especially, pretty sure it's always the scene like right when Han Solo says, "Looks like you got yourselves a ship." You know, that part. It's always when I turn that movie on. It's like right there. So it's like I missed the whole cantina scene. Except, and then it goes right into the Jabba thing.
At least you're like me at the end of the fucking movie. I mean, I'm telling you, even when I was a little kid, I remember it was always at the end of the film.
I'm trying to remember. There's a lot of movies like that for me too, and like it'll be at the end of the goddamn movie.
But I want to say something about Star Wars real quick. People have to realize, and I'm talking about the first film, it was a global phenomenon before most people were even born that like it.
Yeah.
Like, it was already, like, huge. By the way, mine is back on right now.
Mine is not. Mine has, like, it's finishing up an ad right now. It's got about,
should I pause it?
Yeah, please. It's got about, like, 7 or 8 seconds.
I'm at 58:53. It's a shot of the moon.
Okay. I'll let you know. I'll have to watch a stupid, like, fit shoe commercial. Can we just hurry? Come on, please? Thank you. Alright. Good, unpause it. That's the moon right now on my thing. And now there's a doggy. He's gonna get you. There's Michael Berryman running with the baby. We're good to go. Is that where you're at?
Yeah, unfortunately, using the Tubi app, it makes an hour and a half movie go for 3 hours, so...
Yeah, because we have to have almond milk commercials and fucking damn Levitra ads and shit.
Like, I have Peacock, which is the streaming app from Xfinity, from Comcast.
Yeah.
And they'll show one ad at the beginning, and there's nothing for hours, which is pretty dope.
This app used to be like that.
But again, that app isn't free either. So.
Right. But, I noticed now... what was it? I was watching something that never had ads on it, and now it does, and it was bothering me. I can't remember. Whatever. It was another streaming service where I was like, why does this have ads now? It's just stupid. But yeah, back to what I was saying about that shit. I think there's one I'm thinking of. Last Action Hero. The part towards the end where they're fighting on the fucking roof. It's always that scene. Like, I think I've only seen that movie all the way through, like, once. Because every time I put it on TV, they're on, like, that fucking rooftop at the end. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it's like...
Here's the thing.
And that's always that scene in that movie. I remember that.
Here's a weird thing about that movie. As a Schwarzenegger fan that grew up with all his classic stuff, when I initially saw that movie, I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
But then if you take it for what it is and watch it now, it's not really that bad.
Yeah. And like I said, I just haven't...
But you have to take... Like I said, I was kind of young when that came out, but not really. But the thing was, I wasn't like 80, but I wasn't like 30 either. I was like, still a teenager. But it was very disappointing because it's like Jingle All the Way. Like, I don't like that movie. Like, I just don't. Like, I like Twins. That's a comedy that he did. Junior, I thought was stupid.
Right.
But, like, Last Action Hero, if you take it for what it is, like, I've watched it recently, or within the past, like, couple years, I actually enjoyed it. It's okay, But you just have to take it for what it is. Like, I don't go into watching that like it's Terminator,
Yeah.
It's kind of silly. It's almost like it's spoofing itself.
A little bit, yeah.
But it's not a bad movie. And I tell you this, when I worked at a record store, that soundtrack sold, like, buttloads.
Yeah, it's a good soundtrack.
But I don't know if the movie's considered a flop or not, but I know that fucking soundtrack, which I would cringe if I had to listen to anything off that right now, but I remember people would come in and buy it, Which it was the same year that came out, I was listening to fucking Covenant from Morbid Angel, so I wasn't interested in the Last Action Hero soundtrack, but...
Right.
It was very popular. It had that Queensryche on it, and Megadeth, and et cetera, whatever. But, it wasn't my thing, but we sold a lot of it, And my friends had that soundtrack, so I would hear it in their cars, and stuff. And this friend of mine, Anthony, that had a Ford Probe, if you know what that car is, and he was, like, brand new, and we were driving around listening to the cassette of that in his car, and, like, Anthrax Sound of White Noise came out the same year, and I'm like, dude, will you take this stuff out? Like, I want to listen to this Covenant record, or the first Crowbar, or whatever. But, In Utero came out that year, too, which was another movie. Well, that was the next year. It was actually 94, excuse me. But, whatever. All that stuff kind of ran together. But I remember Last Action Hero. I remember that Sony really pushed that movie, but there were even toys for it. But I'm pretty sure it was a flop. I'm pretty sure it made no money, but... They could go back and revisit that movie. I don't have anything against it. It's not a bad movie.
Yeah. That's just one of those weird ones that I always caught at the end. So. Never really familiar with it.
That Reaper-looking dude with the...
Yeah.
Pretty sure the dude I'm friends with is Tom Noonan, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure.
Yeah, it's not bad. But, a.k.a. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Or Frank, as they call him, in Monster Squad, but,
absolutely.
He's been in a shitload of good movies. He's in fucking Heat, he's in fucking...
Yep.
He's worked with fucking everybody, and that guy's a fucking badass, but I hope to get him on this podcast one day. Him and Robert Russell both, but... Two guys that I'm proud to say I'm friends with. It's just cool. It's just, I don't know why. It's one of those things that really, like, made my day when those guys added me. I was just like, yes. So, it's pretty awesome. At least I think. Let's do a Facebook check and This will be the Dr. Wes friend check and see if I'm actually still friends with him. I fucking better be. Let's see.
These people were just terrorized. Dee Wallace is dead. And one bitch got shot. Then Nina got shot. She's hanging in there. It's like Oregon Trail in here now. She's like, I'm gonna die. Nina.
I never gets old.
There goes Nina. Now the lights are off again. Which means Jupiter and the boys are coming back to raise hell. That's funny, though.
My two favorite things in this world are both of them being on my friends list. It's just awesome. and here's one. I want to tell everybody about this, because I complained about this. If you ever listened to this podcast a long time, I haven't complained about this in forever. Okay, to Corey, and I'm going to do it today for Halloween. You know what still chaps my ass?
What's that?
Tom Hahn adds Corey. I've tried to add that old cocksucker 1,000 times. That prick will not add me. He just won't do it. That's an old cocksucker.
Those of you who don't know.
And Fright Night, I think, is an overrated movie.
Well,
I think Lost Boys is 1,000 times better.
One.
No, he's doing great, but the guy's a fucking cocksucker. It's like, thanks for never adding me, you old prick. You know? I want to give him the fucking wheelchair experience from fucking Friday 2, if that's what you deserve. I'm going to fucking hatchet you and then kick you down the fucking stairs in the fucking rain. I'm going to give him the dash. He
gets the fuck off.
No, it's just weird, but it's funny because we've talked about this for years. If you guys out there, you know, have experienced this, but it's funny how people will do that, you know, because, you know, it's weird to me where maybe they're not paying attention. They accidentally add you, which is awesome, you know, or they actually did want to add you, or they purposely, because we reject you, they're purposely rejecting you. You know, it's bad.
So you're saying sometimes I don't even pay attention. I do the quarterback sneak, and I'm in the friends list.
I'm not saying that's how you got, but I think for me anyway, I think with some of the people that have added me, I think they weren't paying attention. They just added me. Whereas I
feel like a lot of them very carefully add, because I very carefully add people, and I don't even need to. I mean, I couldn't imagine somebody that gets friend requests daily like those kinds of people that have. I mean, I'm sure they're really looking at who it is, because I mean, so I don't know. Maybe they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, and I'll say this on this podcast: if you guys send me a friend request, I'll add you. I'm on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, you can find me. Just look up Ronnie Dio, and it'll, in parentheses, it says Dr. Vincent West. That's me. It's not somebody that works for us. That's me. So send me a friend request. I'll add you. It's usually full. I don't know why people add me, but I never send friend requests to people, and I get people sending to me all the fucking time. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's weird. And they're real people. I thought initially it was like bots, but it's not. But I guess somebody's listening to us, but if you guys want to add me, send me a thing. I don't give a shit. I'm there. I'm somewhere, you know. But I do stuff like, I did a thing. I put a post of a picture of us in Florida with a post on it the other day on our page. I left it there for like 24 hours, and then I deleted it. So you get special little treats if you follow us on Facebook. You'll get to actually see pictures of me occasionally, and I'll leave it there for about 14, 24 hours, and then I delete it. So I'm going to do it again for Halloween. I'm going to put another masked photo of me up with me saying something on there, probably Happy Halloween or something, and I'll leave it there for 24 hours, and I'll delete it. And I don't leave those because I don't want people knowing me or what I do, or, you know. But, you know, you find me, add me. You want to look at the stuff, it's cool. Follow us on Facebook. If you do, you will get to see little cool stuff like that. Like I put a little cool candid photo of me in Pensacola Beach.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. And then I left it there and let it get about 100 views, and then I deleted it. So I don't leave it on there because I don't want people tracing me like, oh, I've got Dr. West. It's like, no, you don't. You know, unless you screenshot it, you don't got it, you know. So I'm a ghost. I haunt this podcast and others, and that's how I like it. But
that's right.
But yeah, I think
there's a little doggy. He's gonna get you.
I've been trying to get in the Halloween mood this year, and I just haven't been feeling it. I'm hoping I do it tonight. I'm actually going to go see The Exorcist tonight.
Yeah.
Going with Cody Lamone, who does our video game stuff, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be cool. He's never seen it, so that's going to be funny. Anytime you get to watch it, like he had never seen The Shining, and I went and saw The Shining with him, and that was hilarious because he had never seen it. So it just blows my mind some of the stuff he's never seen. Like he'd never seen. It's weird. There's stuff he has seen. There's other stuff that he's never seen. He's like, oh, I've never seen that. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Like I let him borrow Back to the Future recently. He'd never seen it, which is weird. I didn't let him borrow the trilogy. I just let him borrow the film.
Yeah.
Just the first film, and he was like, "Dude, that was great." It's like, there you go.
Well, there's Nina. We have a report. Nina is dead. Nina has shit the bucket.
I mean, this movie is kind of like the Last House on the Left, where it's just very low budget and very gritty.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps on going. So now Brenda is, I don't know, a second ago she was like drooling. So I guess that is it's Ethel Carter. It's old Nina Carter. And, Bobby over there. Trying to get
of course, we got Joe Burrow's dad wearing the Ohio State jersey or shirt. A lot of people didn't know that is Joe Burrow's dad before he transferred to shitty LSU.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
The police or Air Force going to come out there and help you with these fucking Mongoloids in the hills. There you go. You got the Air Force rescue.
Uh-huh.
I like these fucking Cro-Magnons fucking took our damn baby and killed my Nino. But I think old Doug Wood, which is Greg Ullman in this movie, he's running around with the dog. I think he's trying to find some help on foot from what I saw. Been a while. So I've seen this. I don't remember what the fuck happens from here on. But I always remember the your baby's fat scene because that seems to be when it's on TV, the only point that the TV wants to show me is that part. You're standing on your heads, put your thumbs up your ass. So it's what's his name that's fucking with him. There you go, Michael Berryman. Gotta love him. They're fucking crazy in this movie. Bunch of crazy fucks. Yep, there's old Doug Wood. Looks like a 70s porn star. They got their nasty ass fucking little cave dwell right there. Bet that smells fantastic in there. He's got like his Lego hair wig. It's just funny. Dude, it's just...
Did you say Lego hair?
It does. It looks like he has Lego hair. It's like he just snapped it on him. He's got his little cowlick too. He's just like, yeah. I got an ad in 6 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and interruption. And it's Match.com. They're like, wow, we met online and we had a child and got engaged in 2 months. It's like, congratulations, that's really stupid. And we're going to be divorced in about 6 months. It's like, well, I love to travel because I'm a flight attendant and I just really want to get out there and meet some guys. And then the dudes are like, I'm a recovering addict and I'm in and out of jobs and I don't have a car. So please marry me. And then they do. It's awesome. Because
yeah, I think a lot of that happens.
Yeah, it's really weird. Now I got more shoe ads for allbirds.com. I'm not even going to make that joke, but I would.
Tell me when to unpause this.
I am. I'm about halfway through about like 17 ads, so we're getting there. It's the little ring that says ad is like half full, so. Now we got the zebra.com.
So just to tell you guys a story, so Leela, which is Wheelchair Fucker's cat, is staying with me here in Florida while he is visiting somewhere in the state. I'm not really sure friends. I think they're in Alabama and Gulf Shores. He has a friend there. But anyway, she just literally looked at me like Captain Howdy from The Exorcist and like freaked out and ran down the hallway. So I don't know what's up with her today. She's very strange, isn't she? Like,
yeah. Still going.
She's a weird cat. What's that?
Then we got the new GMC Hummer HV ad, because people want a pickup truck Hummer. I'm sure I'll see plenty of fucking dipshits driving that eventually. Bunch of meatheads. Get inside my
people
Hummer.
With too much money.
People get inside my Hummer, I'm gonna fuck you. Yeah, whatever. Almost done. We got another Febreze ad. This is a Febreze car ad, where you can put the little, whatever, the little thing on your thing. Air vent. Bullshit. Okay, so the ads are done. Here we go. Ads are done. Now it's back to...
Hit play?
Yep, hit play. They're fixing a tire. Little Bobby's taking the tire off. He's actually putting gasoline in the middle of it. You got Brenda over here beaten and battered. This movie's just crazy. It's very visceral, and like you said, it's very gritty. Like, you can tell they filmed it on a old porn director's camera, because that's what it looks like. It just looks like a porno. Looks like an old porno.
What's weird is in Grand Theft Auto 5, there's some people that look like the Hills Have Eyes characters that you have to go kill.
Oh, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
It's kind of funny. That's what it makes me think about. For some reason today, every time I see them, I'm just like, I just want to go shoot them.
So I'm going to turn that movie on and go... You know, the funny thing about Grand Theft Auto, like on San Andreas is like the first one where they had like the country in there. And I guess that's supposed to be like Texas, more or less. But
Sam looks like they're in fucking Pensacola.
when we were going through Alabama, like from where I picked you up.
It's you and me yogging back from the bar, getting food.
It is. But going through, we went through Montgomery, Alabama, and in that video game, there's just an area called Montgomery. So while the whole time I was there, I was just thinking it was San Andreas. I was like, this is actually what that game looks like.
Yeah, you actually see, yeah. Interesting.
When you actually see it, but I think it's geographically it's supposed to be Texas is what it's supposed to be, but it actually looked like, Montgomery, Alabama, which is weird. Then you got the doggy, he's gonna get you. He's fucking eating Michael Barron's
I thought the dog died. I could have sworn the dog gets killed.
I don't remember. There is a dead dog that they see in the movie, but I don't know if it's this one later. I don't remember. He's trying to get his fucking knife here. Here comes Papa Jupiter. Just trying to shoot the dog. Such a scary situation to fucking deal with that. Fucking dog attack? Fuck that.
Oh, yeah.
Never had to deal with it, but I've came pretty close a couple times. There's actually when I lived in upstate New York, we lived on up on a, ooh, God, some solid ankle gore right there. We lived on a hill in upstate New York, it's country shit up there. And down the road, like I always walked everywhere because my friend's house was down the street, so I just walked. And cornfields, all that kind of shit. a very spread out area. But next to my friend's house, their neighbor had a dog named Pharaoh. He's a gigantic ass German Shepherd. Never really met him or the neighbors, but he would always bark like crazy when I would walk down past the house. So one day I had my Razor scooter out, and I was out on my driveway. I just drive it back and forth, and just whatever. It was just on my driveway, not bothering anybody, just kind of hanging out. And it was getting dark. Then I remember it was almost the sun was almost completely down. And then out of nowhere, Pharaoh was standing at the edge of my driveway, which he never got out ever. He never was just roaming around. He was an indoor dog, I just came to a complete stop with my scooter, and we just had a Mexican standoff. He was just standing there at the edge of my... Because I didn't know if that dog was mean or not. I had no idea. I didn't want to know. So, we just stared at each other. I did not move like it was a goddamn bear. And then he eventually just walked off and went back down the street. But that was one of the scariest, most intense moments I'd ever been in, because I thought if I moved, he was going to chase me. I mean, I had a scooter, but he would have fucking wrecked my ass, And there would be nobody to help me, My mom was inside, and I was out, and the owner of that dog was obviously not right there. He's probably just at home, or the dog just got out. So I would have been fucked. Just been eaten alive on my damn scooter. Shit freaked me out. So when I see a big German Shepherd tearing somebody's limb off, I think back at that moment, because I thought that was going to happen to me, but I don't know. Maybe the dog was nice and I was just being cautious, but I didn't want to take any fucking chances, because he would have ripped my damn throat out. Very scary. So yeah, I don't do any kind of dog attack shit, or I always feel like that could have possibly happened to me, and I would have not enjoyed it.
I got attacked on my skateboard when I was 12 years old by a Doberman Pinscher.
Oh, fuck that. That's another one. No, thank you.
And I thought I told you this story, but I'll share this on here. And I ended up in the hospital. It was bad. And the dog just kind of came out everywhere out of this neighborhood in this cul-de-sac where Mom and I lived in Fort Lauderdale when we first moved to Florida. And we were there for a while. We originally leased low-income housing, and then we moved into this really nice neighborhood. But these people just refused to do anything with their dog. And this is a true story. I'm not even making this up. So when I got out of the hospital, I never saw the dog again. It was weird. It's it just disappeared. I didn't know whatever happened to it.
Yeah.
And I'm on an ad, too.
Shit. Okay. I'm at 1 hour, 19 minutes, 54 seconds. So when you get back to it.
But what I was going to tell...
My companion's got his throat ripped out, so there's that.
Dog disappeared. Never saw it again. My uncle died in 2005.
Yeah.
And at the funeral, I found out that my uncle had went over there and killed that dog.
Damn.
I never knew what had happened. That's how protective of me he was. And that dog was crazy anyway. It wasn't right. And it's not like him to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I was never told what he did with it. But
yeah.
But it was one of those things. I mean, it damn near killed me. It ripped up my legs and my arms. It bit me all over the place. I had to have a rabies shot and all this other shit. It was bad, and but I never knew the story until he died. That's what it had. Because I just, it wasn't like anybody ever talked about it. I just never saw the damn thing again.
Right.
It's just kind of a weird story, but
No, that's fucking nuts.
But that thing was awful, man. My mom came out there to get the dog off of me. She was hitting it with the top of a trash can lid. And it didn't even phase it, It's not like my mom was even trying to hurt it. My mom loves animals,
Right.
It's nothing like that. But
well,
she was just trying to get it off me. She was using it like Cat's shield, like Captain America's shield. She was trying to and it worked. It finally got him off me.
Yeah.
I'm back on too.
Okay. Got Brenda here. She's seeing old Papa Mercury here jog over to her. That's what I'm looking at here. He's just skipping to his loo. He's gonna find out that his friend just got ripped apart, but there he's running around with his Magnum. He's ready to go. Papa Mercury. And they use the dead Nina as bait. That's another creepy thing about this movie. It's just like, yeah, just put Nina on a fucking lawn chair and just use her as bait. Whatever. She's like dead as fuck. It's really weird. No, Bobby here needs to get this fucking car rolling with his tire taken off. Come on now, Bobby. There you go. Got the old rope. Tied his ass up. Look at that. It's beautiful. That would actually hurt like a bitch, to getting rolled through that sand like that with the rocks.
Oh, yeah.
Especially how hot it probably is, you figure. Just fuck. Well, now you're screwed. You didn't put gasoline in the... They probably didn't know that they were siphoned either. They got siphoned. I'm guessing now the night before. He's pretty fucked up. They just need to walk over there and start kicking him in his bag, you know. What have you got to lose? Go in there and fucking start fucking him up. Let him gain traction to come back in there. He's about to come in there with this damn machete. Got some propane tanks ready. There we go. We set the trap. Good job. Oh, that's cool that they got the match on the door, so when he goes to open it, it's gonna like that. That's like a 1 in a million shot too, you know. There's some ballsy people if they think that's gonna work.
God damn it!
Go ahead and strike that match, fool. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, the problem is, like, how the fuck are you gonna get out of the desert now? I guess the smoke, well, somebody will find them. It's the other thing, they're pretty fucked in this situation regardless, so they're... everything's off a damn whim what they're doing at this point, so... Like, if not, you're gonna starve to death and be in a fucking desert, but at least you're not gonna get killed by some maniac that's in the damn hills. So you don't even know if he's fucking dead or not. Nope. There he is. Oh, get that axe. It just fucking body... Actually, like... Andre the Giant body slammed him. And you gotta shoot his giant ass. It's a big fucking man. Shoot him again. I would have shot him maybe a couple more times. If it were me. There we go. You got Ruby that got rescued here from...
Really exists. Douglas, Jamie, Trent, and Evil Sis. They're from Alabama. They're actually, and it's Bama Has Eyes is what it's called. City that they're from. But you don't want to mess with Jupiter Dobbs. He'll get you. He's out there somewhere. You don't know where. He and his family they'll fuck you up if you end up breaking down. They'll do it Auburn style. That's how they do it.
I'll do it.
But yeah, I always like this movie. I like the second one better, honestly. I think the second one has a better flow to it. This movie is... a nightmare to watch if you're drunk or stoned. It's a fucking shit show.
I've watched it stoned once, and it was absolutely terrifying.
It's just uncomfortable, you know?
Well, because of how gritty it is and stuff like that, it's like, it's not that it's real, but it feels like, you know, the way it's made is definitely, you know, very real.
Correct.
And this stuff could happen. There's nothing unrealistic about any of this, you know. You could be very well hunted down in the fucking desert by fucking cave people. I mean, it's just possible. And now you got this fucking rattlesnake right here, like, that's another one, you know. You can just have all these dangers surrounding you. It's freaky deaky, man. And you got Ruby fucking helping you because she wants the baby, so go on there, Ruby. Fucking sand in this dude's face. It's pretty funny. So now you got the distraction there. The assist. Go on there, fucking Greg Allman. Let's go. Fuck you waiting on? Left your damn shiv. She's going up to get this damn baby. But the guy that in the remake, that I guess is supposed to be this guy, he gets like the worst of it in that remake. It's like really gory and pretty fucking shitty.
You mean the family member or the victim here?
Yeah, the victim here, this Doug guy, the porn stash. I'm pretty sure the guy in the remake that's supposed to be him, he gets fucked pretty hard. From what I remember, I've only seen that movie a couple times too, and that one's, yeah, like I said, it's worth watching. If you like gore shit, and for newer movies, and even like the remake train, you know, that's actually one of the pretty rewarding remakes, I think, you know, that it actually is pretty good, you know. So I think that one was like 07 or whatever, and they started doing decent remakes by then, you know, like the Friday the 13th one was 09, and...
You get bit by a snake, it's very painful.
I've never been bitten by a snake.
Looks like Tom Savini.
He does, a little bit. Oh.
For y'all that don't know who Tom Savini is, he is actually our newest participant in prostate stretch at our Phantasm Fest. What you get to do is you get to walk up and pet his mustache while he fucking stretches his prolapsed anus over a fucking machete dildo.
He also has about 5 prosthetic masks to choose from that he can wear after the mustache fondling. So if you want him to, you know, have a Tales from the Dark Side mask, he'll put that on, or even the Mongoloid young Jason mask, he'll wear that one. So, I mean, just, you know, masks that he's made.
Anything you want.
And that's it. That's it. The movie ends with him stabbing the fuck out of that dude, and then it's just like, merp. One of the weirdest endings, like, ever. So, yeah. Yeah, that's a new addition to our thing. So if you want a retro-style Tom Savini, you know, he'll even wear his armor from Martin, too. So if you want him to look like Martin the Vampire while he's fisting his hole, then, you know, you can have him do that too. It's all a matter of how you want to pay for it.
Well, my favorite thing that he's doing, and this is something that I think is very exciting, is it's called the gore bomb. And what it is fans get to sit with goggles on because of COVID-19. Yes, you wear a mask as well. And what happens with the gore bomb is, and this is only for very select people, Tom takes his old, worn-out rectum and fills it full of his blood and cat livers and all the, you know, nasty stuff he's used in all his movies. And then what he does is he walks over and just farts it in your face. He just fucking wrenches it right out his fucking old anus into your face. Just a boom splat. And
he doesn't.
I'm wondering, why Tom Savini, Dr. West? I'm like, well, he's a rock star of this podcast for several years, and I figure, he deserves to be part of something that we do, so I've included him in this today as a special Halloween treat.
It's also a special one if he dresses like the biker from Dawn of the Dead, and you can have your face painted like a zombie, and he will come and do the same gore bomb special, but it's called Dawn of the Duke. He's fucking takes a sloppy gore shit in your face.
Everybody loves him for his gore stuff, so if you're really excited, you can have his fucking prolapsed anus fucking puke in your face.
He'll graze it across your fucking chin and mouth if you pay extra for it. If you want to feel his fucking worn out, tainted, old fucking prolapsed fucking rectum grazing across your face.
And like I said, the main thing he's doing for our regular patrons is just his taint and stretch, which is where he rubs his taint and then does rectal exercises on the machete dildo.
Now, students of his school get in for free. So if you want to, any of you guys, but you'd have to tag him on Twitter if you want to get free admission. But you have to show your Savini Effects School ID to get in free. But you still have to pay for the rest of the show. But the Tom Savini one you can have a special VIP viewing party. Where he won't
fart guts into your face, though.
No, he doesn't get. You get.
That's only special patrons get that.
You get to watch him fart into other people's faces, but you get a front row seat to watch him doing it. But that's it. Only paying customers get the experience of the gore farting in his face. But it's a pretty fun experience that we're adding to our new Phantasm Land exhibit there. And sometimes maybe a special night we'll have like a 3-ring circus thing going on where we got him touching his taint and fisting his asshole, and then you got fucking Jeffrey Combs in another spotlight to the right, and he's fucking doing the same thing, putting all kinds of shit in his asshole. And then
it's pretty exciting.
Then you got another one to the right, another one. That's the the third ring, and it's just wheelchair fucker pissing on people's faces. So you got 2 people fisting their assholes and putting stuff in there, prolapsing. And you got wheelchair fucker. He's just gonna pee on the spectators.
I'm going to share this because I just saw this on a commercial. Why would anybody buy a cheeseburger pizza that's covered in Thousand Island dressing?
Ew. The fuck is that?
So apparently now, I guess Hardee's has bought out. I'm making a joke about this, but I'm not saying this is real, but it's like Hardee's bought out, or Burger King bought out Papa John's, and now they're just making these like fucking stoned idea pizzas. It's like, what is this?
It's like, how high are you right now? You're just combining. It's like, I got a fucking shrimp taco pizza. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird, but
I think some of these marketing directors are just fucking blazed out of their mind. Like, we gotta come up with something fresh and new. It's like, yeah, let's put a fucking Big Mac.
Well, that's just like, I mean, everything at fucking Sonic right now is like, try a new garlic, bacon, butter, hot fudge sundae. It's a hot fudge sundae with a banana on garlic buttered toast with fucking a cheeseburger patty and a ton of ketchup and hot fudge sauce. It's like, what is this? And then that Dairy Queen is the same thing. It's like, come try a new fucking mesquite chicken barbecue milkshake. I mean, what is the deal with these? It's like, I guess it's a youth thing. I just don't understand why people want to eat like their meal with their dessert. It's the weirdest thing in the world to me. It's like, come on into DQ today and get your morning started with our new fucking Red Bull chocolate mocha coffee shake. I mean, I don't get it. You know, or kind of get your morning running with Dunkin' with our new fucking 5-hour energy pastries. I don't get it.
Yeah,
maybe I just don't understand it.
Everything now, I don't know.
And everybody's wondering why that's why everybody's just a hateful butthole on like everything because everybody's amped up on caffeine.
Yeah, and their hormones are fucked because they eat all this crap all day, and then they're just angry because they're putting.
Can I tell you a product that I find disturbing? Can I tell you a product that I find completely and totally disturbing that exists?
Yeah.
Muscle milk. Why? Why does that exist?
Yeah, it's
like I'm lactose intolerant anyway. I think milk is disgusting. But you've got milk with 5-hour energy and speed and crack and B12 and all this other shit in it. It's like, okay. Why don't you just drink a regular glass of milk if you like milk and then take vitamins instead of drinking everything in one thing?
Yeah, it's the same as like a protein shake, but those are for people that don't want to fucking just put powder in a cup with fucking milk in it. They would just...
But listen, man, I'm telling you, it's like everything's just gotten lazy. It's like...
Yeah, it has.
It's like, come to Dairy Queen today to try our all new fucking, fucking meatball marinara shake. Fresh Italian meatballs. Thick, rich red sauce in our creamy chocolate shake. It's like,
oh God!
What is this? I'm serious. I don't understand it. And it's like we ate at Subway when we were hanging out together when Corey came to Florida, and like, some of the stuff they sell in there is just it's like people go in these restaurants and look at like a Subway menu, then they leave and they go to Dairy Queen and make it happen. It's like for all our fucking health nuts, try our new fucking Red Bull and tuna shake. The Red Bull keeps you going all day. The fresh tuna and creamy vanilla milkshake.
But
it's true. That's the kind of shit they serve at these places. And I think people are just disgusting. Sometimes listening to people order food, it's just like... I'm just like, what are you ordering?
Oh, it is true. It's funny, though.
And the men are... These men that eat this stuff are walking around, they look like they're fucking pregnant. Like they're ready to drop. And they've got bitch tits. And they've got fucking, and they go around and fucking eat this crap. I mean, I would never eat at fucking Dairy Queen. Like, and they'll go in there and it's just like, I don't know how they just don't change their name to fucking plus size queen, because if you're not plus size, you're going to be after you eat there enough times. It's just disgusting, man. It's just gross. I mean, it really is. It's disgusting, and I can't believe people eat this stuff. It's just like, it's like smooth, creamy mozzarella cheese in our mayonnaise milkshake with fresh Italian meatballs.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's like, ugh. And it's nothing that extreme. Obviously, I'm being extreme with it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's terrifying, honestly.
It is, a little bit.
Well, it's dangerous, like I try to watch everything that I eat now, and it's like, I cheated a little bit when we were out of town, together.
Yeah.
I was up hard and you're down there, and I cheated a little bit, but whatever, but when you eat certain things, you gotta be careful. People just don't, it's the same fucking people that don't want to wear a mask. It's like, you can't eat like that every day unless you want to die.
Yeah.
It's just not good.
It's really bad for you.
And it's disgusting too. It's like, yeah, give me that fucking mocha shake, and I also want some curly fries in it with ranch.
Ranch.
I don't get it. And it just kills me, because stuff that I love to eat, like everybody, I can always tell, like I'll go to a restaurant and all these people are taking all that stuff off of it. They're like, I want a cheeseburger, I don't want any cheese on it or onions or mustard. All I want is ketchup and hot fudge and a fucking scoop of ice cream.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just makes me want to vomit. It's pretty gross. Now, that movie's cool. I always like it. It's just weird. It's an edgy movie. It puts me in a weird mood every time I watch it. Like, it's very, I don't know, it's graphic and disturbing to watch, kind of.
Yeah.
Wes Craven stuff is, Last House on Left makes that thing look like a pigment, though. that movie's very disturbing. But
another
movie that I never saw the remake of. But
right. Yeah. Final thoughts on it. Yeah, it's very good. It's a very good movie. It's up there with the classics. I think it holds up.
It's a good one.
Holds up now.
I don't know how I like it, but
and it's a classic that holds up.
I swear, if you go back through, it's almost like we watched that before. Though. I swear, it feels like we watched that one.
You know, we might have. I don't know. I really don't think we have. We did again. It's Halloween, so fuck it. Fuck it. You know. But yeah, it's
I could have sworn we watched that movie before, though, together. Maybe we didn't, though.
I really don't think we have. Like I said, if we did, we've done it again. So we're gonna... It's Halloween. Halloween is ritualistic in a sense where people watch the same shit all the time, you know, that they watch every year. So, you know, look at it that way, I guess.
It was definitely a weird one.
Yeah. Well, we thank you all for listening and hopefully watching as well. And I hope you have a very horrible and gruesome Halloween. And just be safe out there. And make sure you have candy on hand because you don't want anyone to kill you because you don't have any. So just make sure that you're good to go for that.
Corey's going to have a vegan taco pizza from Domino's.
Ugh.
I know that's another commercial. It's just like, why are you making these things? I could just go on and on with it. It's like, try our new mesquite barbecue hot fudge sundae yogurt pizza.
It's just America. I feel like people are actually getting better in America, but when you look at what they're creating in fast food now, it's just like maybe they're not. Maybe people are getting even fatter. I don't know, because like the stuff they put out now, it's like there must be a demand for this stuff where it's like their main thing on
it's
TV.
A death sentence, man. I mean, anything on Burger King's menu is a death sentence.
The same thing with Taco Bell. It's like, I love Taco Bell, but everything they're trying to do now, they're just like, we're going to put cheese over top of the burrito, so you just have to have cheese on everything. It's like, and of course I can't eat that shit, you know, once in a while I'll eat it, but
sure.
It's like, that's stuff I really try not to eat anymore. And with their new items, it's like they take off the potatoes, which is like the healthiest goddamn thing they had on the menu, and they took those off. And now they're like, try our grilled cheese burrito, or it's got cheese over top of the burrito itself. It's like, why?
And in the burrito.
Is the cheese inside enough? And then it's like, we got to put melt cheese on the outside. And then they have this
it's like, and don't forget, inside the wrapper, we wrap an entire wrapper in nacho cheese.
And then they have like that grande stacker thing, and it's like, it's a crunch wrap, but it's layered 3 times, and it's got cheese on every layer. And don't forget our new Mountain Dew nacho cheese with extra caffeine drink. Don't forget our caramel empanada. It's got cheese covered all over it. It's like, why?
Ding.
And try our new cinnamon twist box. It's just got fucking. It's just you open the box, it's just swimming in nacho cheese. It's like, can you just fucking?
Nacho cheese is nasty. Anyway, I always thought nacho cheese was fucking gross.
It's not even real cheese. It's just like, it's just nasty. I don't know. It's made from like.
You know what it is? It's wet cheese whiz.
Yeah, it's just microwave cheese whiz. It's like, because cheese whiz has a consistency to it. They just like fizz it out in a bowl in a microwave and just like melt it, and then they're like, here's that melted cheese whiz grilled.
See, some of the room I've been with, it feels like I'm fucking melted cheese. It's just like,
it's gross. And then everyone's like, yeah,
putting my wick in their fucking nacho cheese basket.
They're like, Corey, I don't feel good. It's like, well, maybe because you ate a fucking grilled cheese over the top grilled cheese patty melt fucking triple decker from Taco Bell. It's like, of course you don't feel good. There's a lot of nasty shit you just ate, and it's gonna affect your body for like 2 days because your body's like, oh, what'd you do to me? It's like, oh no, just put a bunch of fucking cheese in my body. It's like, I don't know about you, but I like to take shits once a day. I don't like to wait 2 days because I ate cheese. I can't eat cheese anymore.
It's rough, man. I mean, I ate it on pizza.
Yeah.
I don't get it on my food. I don't eat cheeseburgers generally. Sometimes I will get one. I had one the other day in front of you, but I generally don't even get it on those.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
On my McDonald's horse meat burger.
Well, everyone hopefully stay safe, and if somebody,
wear a mask.
Yeah, wear a mask.
For Halloween, wear one every day.
Taking your children out,
kill other people.
A lot of places aren't doing trick-or-treating this year anyway, so if you're going out doing your thing, I get it. I've done it, so just be safe about it and try not to, get killed or kill anyone yourself. And if you do go trick-or-treating and someone hands you a fucking goddamn Whopper Jr., you should probably just piss on their face, whatever candy you want, whatever. If I were you, I would just go to the grocery store and get the half-price shit. You can get those gigantic bags for like $4, and you can live off it for like a month and ruin your teeth like I did. So just do that. Be good to go. But,
hey, Ron, I wanted to do one more thing before we get off here. We actually have a winner through our mailbag that we did, our secret ballot mailbag, to win the Xenomorph Alien Ridley Scott dildo.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And it's Terry from Knoxville who won that. And the reason Terry won this, he sent us a picture of him dressed up as Seth Rollins, and he was wearing crotchless pants and fucking a dildo. And he said he really wanted the Xenomorph dildo because he doesn't get off. He had to force himself to get off so he could make a baby with his wife. And
he was high on CBD.
He just wanted... He was real high on CBD oil, so he lubed up the dildo with CBD oils and then fucked it.
To get the extra, extra natural.
Here's the sweetest thing for this. He was too embarrassed to send all this stuff to us. It was sent in by his brother Chris, and that was really sweet of him to do that. I think him and Chris need to just come out of the closet and just be together and do their thing and own a CBD oil company and continue to watch bad wrestling together and fuck Xenomorph dildos. So I think that's their place in this world,
Yeah, whatever you want to do with the dildo, that's on you. You want it, so congratulations, and
Yeah, congrats to our couple, Chris and Terry. Hope you enjoy that.
Yeah, and there's also double-edged ones. Maybe we'll put another mailbag. You can get lucky twice. You can get yourself a whole toy collection for your assholes to share.
Well, the sad thing is Chris was telling us that his penis wasn't big enough to even satisfy a woman or a man, so he has to wear a strap on.
He's going to put it over his little pee-pee.
That's what he does.
He's got to do the... He doesn't even have to do the pee-pee tuck. It just hangs right where, it just hangs right there in the groin area, so you don't have to tuck it. It's just, you can put that strap on.
It's just a sack and a bean. So
it's just, when you put the strap on over it, it's enough to where it's not even touching the fucking leather or anything like that. It's just right there, and there's no crushing it like a pancake. It's just a little...
And the cool thing with him is he had a campaign to win this with us. It said "Make America Hard Again." So,
Of course, I don't think he can get hard from what his email said. I think it's just like a little baby wiener. Like, it doesn't do anything. There's no blood rushing to it. It's
kind of like a Ken doll. It's just nothing there,
It looks like a little thumb, and it doesn't. The thumb doesn't thumb up you. It's just always just kind of there,
But I'm proud of them. I hope their CBD oil business does good for them.
I think it's mostly just like a mushroom.
Calling in line.
It's mostly a mushroom just hanging there. There's no neck to it, It's no stalk. It's just a fucking... It's like a head poking out.
But the great thing is he has a really nice, hipster beard, and he got that from shaving Terry's asshole and putting it on his face. He had that cake on there,
Yeah, they had a very compelling story sent to the email from what I'm reading here. So, yeah, props to you folks, and I hope you enjoy the
good luck to you.
Xenomorph dildo, and hopefully you guys can have fun with that.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, and happy Halloween. So, from us at Phantasm, the superior podcast. But yeah, we thank you all for listening. On top of that, and be on the lookout for our
happy Halloween.
for our Phantasm Land stuff and more giveaways here at Phantasm. You know, you could always get lucky here, like Terry and Chris did. So that's why you always check us out. Make sure you listen. Happy Halloween. Be safe. But most importantly, stay fucking gory.
This is a hamburger getting hard and dry because it's cooking on a flame that's too high. At Hardee's, we make our hamburgers at a lower temperature so they cook up thicker, succulent, full of natural juices. And the flavor doesn't go up in smoke. The new quarter-pound burgers from Hardee's, a little closer to home.